Something scientists dream of, making that big discovery that could change the course of medicine and help countless numbers of patients. Well, Dr. Per Santamaria from the University of Calgary and now Parvus Therapeutics has done just that. Here to tell us all about it and what it means for patients with type 1 diabetes and other inflammatory diseases is Dr. Santamaria himself. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. Well, first of all, congratulations. I mean, this really is something that every scientist dreams of, isn't it?
That's right. I mean, so we spend our lives doing experiments in laboratories, trying to understand the secrets of the subject area that is of interest to us. In our case, is trying to understand the complexity of these inflammatory chronic diseases. And you know, it's a curiosity-driven exercise. You're curious, and it has no other angle than that. And you know, and then rarely, occasionally, you might run into something that you never expected. That means it's a discovery. That is an important discovery. And then you may or may not have the opportunity to actually develop the discovery and to bring it to the patients who actually need it. And
right.
So
tell us a little bit about nanomedicine and how it relates to your research, because nanomedicine is getting kind of buzzy these days.
Right. I mean, it's a kind of a interesting word. Nanomedicine. The meaning of nanomedicine means these are medicines that are based on the use of nanomaterials. Nanomaterials. Nanoparticles, in our case, are extremely small materials, such as nanoparticles, which are thousands of times smaller than a typical.
What are we seeing here?
Here you see is the structure of an navacim, which are the drugs that we've discovered and are trying to commercialize or develop and commercialize. And you have a nanoparticle, which is the little ball in the middle, and then they are decorated with multiple copies of immune, complex proteins that the immune system sees. So basically, the little sticks that stick out of the ball are baits for the immune system. So these drugs, when they interact with the white blood cells that cause diabetes, for example, they turn them into white blood cells that now want to suppress diabetes. So basically, that's a nanomedicine.
This is incredible. So tell me a little bit about what this would mean for inflammatory diseases like type 1 diabetes and things like that.
Right. There is about 100 different diseases that affect humankind, whereby our immune system, which is designed to protect us against infections like the flu infection and and all other infections as well as cancer. Some of these white blood cells that make up the immune system in some individuals who are genetically predisposed to some of these diseases turn themselves against certain tissues of the body, and they attack those tissues and they cause diseases like diabetes, in which these white blood cells kill the cells that make insulin in the pancreas. But then you have diseases like multiple sclerosis, which affects the central nervous system, rheumatoid arthritis that affects the joints, and I could go on down the list for 100 diseases. And they're highly prevalent. That means they're very frequent in the population. They cost a lot of money to
so much money
to not only patients but also governments in healthcare costs.
Absolutely. Now, because we're running out of time, tell us a little bit about your company, Parvus Therapeutics. Why did you have to design your own company and create your own company? Well,
I mean, to develop a drug from the research arena into the clinic, it's a completely different ballgame. So you need a vehicle for clinical translation. You need to manufacture the drug. Right. You need to manufacture the drug in specific conditions. You need to file documents to regulatory agencies that ask you to do this, that, and that, and many other things to ensure that the patients are not at risk.
Right.
So you don't want to go into the clinic and harm anyone. And so that process requires a completely different set of expertise, know-how that we as scientists are not trained to.
Of course, you're a scientist, yeah.
That's right.
So now you've got your company, and this is very exciting. You've now partnered up with Novartis, which is basically one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world. What does that mean, this partnership, in terms of patients and discovery and developing the drug?
Well, it means first of all, they've validated the technology. It means that the discovery is sound, and the prospects of that technology to get into the patients, if we are successful in clinical trials, are remarkable. It represents an opportunity for the University of Calgary as well. I mean, the ability to develop and commercialize discoveries that have been made
Yes.
You know, in our coming School of Medicine, for example, and you know, this opens the door for all the scientists that follow behind that might run into similar discoveries. I mean, I ran into this discovery by luck, by serendipity.
By luck, just like that. Well, it was incredibly good luck, wasn't it?
It was good luck. Yeah, it was a good luck.
Well, thank you so much for coming here this morning to tell us all about it. We're very much excited about this research. So thank you very much for coming in.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Great.